Opinions on buying versus renting a house. Now, I know that's what you all come here for. I know this might be a RuneScape stream, an old school RuneScape stream, but I know most of you are sat there thinking, please, Josh, please tell us your opinions on the economic viability of buying versus renting a house. And thank God that you've asked and you've all come here, because I've got opinions, I've got thoughts and feelings, and I very much need you to understand. First of all, this is going to sound awful. It's okay to rent if that's what you can afford and that's what suits your lifestyle. Because I've met so many people and they're like, oh my God, you should never, ever, ever rent. Okay, look, it sounds great. Buy a house, get a mortgage. Super easy to do, I'm sure. Banks are just throwing mortgages at people, aren't they? But sometimes what you want to do is have a life that involves traveling around more. Sometimes you don't want to be financially responsible for a house. I'm not saying responsible in general, but you don't want that asset. Sometimes renting suits your lifestyle. And some people will say to you, oh, you know, it's dead money, you're throwing money away. Okay, yeah, I get that there is an argument there. But if you are renting, whether it's a room, a house, a place, wherever, because I've rented a single room in a bedsit before, because it's what I needed at the time. I was traveling around, didn't have a lot of stuff. If that's what works for you at the time, that's what works. I think that it's great to be able to say, yeah, just save up and buy a house. But a lot of people aren't going to be able to do that because it's very difficult to save up and buy a house. You know when our parents used to say to us, stop crying, or I'll give you something to cry about, and what we thought they meant was that they would hit us, and what they actually meant was they would slowly destroy the economy? Play in the long game. Respect that. You know? They were like, oh, you know, your generation had it so easy. What we're going to do is just slowly destroy the housing market. Ah, fair. Well played there. Well played, boomers. Didn't see that coming. Didn't see that coming. I thought you were going to do the Zerg rush. You actually went with the slow Protoss turtle. Good strategy. No coming back from that. But look, if you could own a house, great. Try and own a house. It's a bloody difficult thing to do. We grab this letter. It's very hard to do. But it would be excellent if everyone could own a house. That would just be absolutely bloody fantastic, wouldn't it? It's difficult to save up the money required to put the down payment on a house. It's remarkably difficult. I understand the complexity and the difficulty of this. Fuck hype. Give me financial advice with RuneScape in the background. Well, legally, of course, this is not financial advice. I have to say that. If you can save up enough money to buy a house, it is potentially a good investment. Now, of course, some of you are going to be saying, but Josh, we don't earn enough money to save up to buy a house. Listen, millennials, it's very simple. All you've got to do is stop buying avocado toast, stop going to get your daily Starbucks, which you're spending 50 quid on, cancel Netflix, gym up, hit the lawyer, that kind of stuff, you know? We've all seen the advice on 4. We all know what to do. Josh, you're a millennial, aren't you? Yes. Yes, I am. I did see they're talking about 100% plus mortgages. Yeah, they mentioned that, actually. I had to speak to a mortgage advisor recently. I had to get a mortgage. I didn't even realize that mortgage is life debt. I mean, when you think about the fact that it's mort, that would imply where the Latin came from. Debt you have for the rest of your life. What a fascinating idea. But yeah, and they were like, so, Mr. Hayes, what's your job? I'm like, well, I make YouTube videos. They're like, oh, that's an interesting hobby. What's your job? Right, I can see where this conversation is going to go to. But no, it's interesting to explain the YouTube streamer thing. Here's something that's very strange. I have reached out to my old university several times to say, hey, on the course was absolutely no information about Twitch, YouTube, live streaming, Instagram, TikTok. And as silly as it sounds, that is actually, if you want to pursue a career in the performing arts, it's a major thing that you need to cover. If you want to be an actor, a performer, a model, a singer, a dancer, any of these things, you very much should at least be exposed to and educated on how social media affects your job. You absolutely should. So I reached out and I said, hey, do you want me to come back and talk to the students about actual life on YouTube, life on Twitch, being self-employed, all that kind of stuff? And they responded, yeah, that sounds great, and then just never got back to me. It's very, very strange. I mean, XQC got, what, a $100 million deal from Kick, and yet none of these things are ever covered. It's ridiculous. They very, very, very much should be covered. I think that if you're going to discuss drama in, or at least performing arts within an education setting, whether it's university, college, school, you need to be educating kids on the uses, the dangers, and the applications of social media. With all this kind of stuff. When you get 100 million deal, get back to us. I'm not moving apart from 101 million, you know? I'm not playing second best. Getting paid 100 times more money in one contract than most people will earn in their life. Yeah. And I think that the reasons that universities don't do this is because they aren't confident in what it is. I mean, my university lecturer, God bless them, was a lovely person, but did not have the knowledge that I wanted them to have in the actual performance space. It was annoying.